Scott Tyner super chatted $20. Hey man, here is something for the kitty. We have missed your show. Oh 06 Henley super chatted $25 for the Target camera replacement fund.
All right, welcome everybody.
JC Justice super chatted $49.99. Add this to the kitty.
JC Justice, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that very much. Just a couple other super chats. Thorzax, thank you, brother. EM, Scott Tyner, 06 Hemi. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. Very generous. How's everybody doing? What are we up to? Does the audio seem okay? Streaming on a new, computer. I haven't streamed on this computer in a long time. New setup. Did the audio sound okay? Is the camera working? I think the camera's working. Have a heart attack looking at 30 cal bullet prices, let alone 338. I guess somebody brought up 338 arc or whatever. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it as well, man. Bullets are going to need to get cheaper before I want to play around with those huge ones. Sounds good. 5x5. Fantastic. Just sitting here loading 243 when you got the notification. Good, welcome. Don't make any mistakes. You're not laying powder.
Nossum 6002 super chatted $10. Grateful to have you back on the bench. Jonathan Rogers super chatted $10 for the new target camera fund. I have learned so much from you, thank you.
Thank you, No Sam, and thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you guys very much. Appreciate you very much. I don't really have anything specific to talk about tonight. Just figured I'd kick on the stream. When was my last stream? Was it 2 videos ago or 1 video ago?
Michael Dufresne super chatted $5.
Hey, Michael, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you very much. Appreciate you very much. I'm just getting ready for some 223 stuff. Pulled out some powders earlier. Was looking through some load data. Need to decide what I want to do, what I want to test first.
Wikia Pratt super chatted $9.99.
I appreciate you, Wikio Pratt. Thank you very much. Working on a 224 of some kind. Yep, going to be loading some 223. Probably going to start with the AR. And try some more copper bullets. Going to do some dirty barrel versus clean barrel tests. See if we can kind of duplicate the theory. I've got a bug flying on. All right, it's that. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be the next video. A little bit of that. Been sucked into watching a boatload of these summoning salt videos. Thank you. They pull you in, man. There's some pretty compelling drama out there. Actually been a whole lot going on in the Super Metroid world over the last few days. Couple new world records. Lots of drama.
Dan Klecker super chatted $9.99. Please 338 ARC.
Thank you, Dan, but there's no way, man. $9.99. That buys 1 bullet for that cartridge. You know how have you priced those bullets? Dang. Nor 7 Backcountry. I saw the video. I've got it pulled up. We'll watch it here in a second. And I'll give you my thoughts on it. Alert is sounding off. Is it too loud? I can crank the alerts down just a touch. All right, there you go. They're down a little bit. ACGB, want to thank you. Videos have helped me. I'm really happy to hear that. Definitely why I make them, and good to see a lot of people, say that they're helpful. Yeah, I've turned that I've turned that volume down a bit. Maybe it'll work better. Keep sending money. Man, like, let's just chill. Like, we need to chill on the new project. Just like, I don't know. 6 months from now, I'll be bored stiff with all the crap I've already got, and I'll be looking for something new. Assuming, all right, this bug flying around is going. We'll be looking for something new eventually, but not right now. I'm not back into the hobby enough to spend money on much of anything. I've got too much crap laying around that I've already spent money. You know what I mean? Hey, take it easy, Black Beret. Thanks for stopping by. Joe wants to see 6.5 Grendel try AR comp with 130 grain game changer. I'll have to see if I still have any of the 130 game changers left. And I'm just about out of AR comp, and people were mentioning that I guess Alliant is not selling powders. Alliant is just not in stock anywhere, and it's not coming in stock anytime soon because of all the wars. So, can people get AR comp? Yeah, Blake suggests hammer bullets. Lots and lots and lots of people suggesting the hammer bullets. They either have really good marketing or some folks out there are having luck with them. So I'm most definitely going to be trying some hammers. No doubt about it. 7mm backcountry, less than the 7mm. Is that what its competitor is? Is it a 7 PRC competitor? I thought it was like an AR cartridge or something. Is it not? I didn't realize it was a. Is it a short action cartridge? Bud Hunter, your store has AR comp. All right. Maybe it's out there. NKS saw some just a few months ago. That's good to hear.
Austin Lincoln super chatted $50. Here's to the bullet fund. You should try the 115 grains TAC TX in 6.5 Grendel. I had great accuracy in my Hauer Mini with their factory ammo. Also just got a 22 to 250 Remington 788 today.
Thank you very much, Austin. That's good news. And yeah, the 115 TAC TX is most definitely on my list of things to try in the Grendel. Because, the 115 TAC TX and the 90 grain CX, I want to try both of those in Grendel. I'd love to find a bullet for the Grendel that I have a lot of confidence that it's going to expand the way a bullet should. Because, the 120 grain gold dot did okay, but it didn't do great. It did okay in our gel tests and stuff. I did take deer with it. It did okay, but I wouldn't mind having something I had a little bit more confidence in. The 115 TAC TX is definitely on the list. So thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Was that audio still scuffed on the... Seven Backcountry is a Magnum and it runs... Yeah. Looked like a 243. It is a short action.
JP Massaro super chatted $4.99. Shot my first 6 ARC reloads today. 112 match burners with CFE 223 plus accurate 2520. Mixed results, 8208 XPR promising with 110 SMK. Thanks, and welcome back.
Thanks, JP.
MSB 9021 super chatted $25. MSB is glad you are back and wants to hear me say Lowdy freaking nah.
Thank you, JP. Thank you, MSB. Appreciate that very much. To hear me say Lowdy freaking nah. First 6 arc reloads. You'll find something good. You'll find something good. Can we get some 223 videos using Winchester stay ball match? Yes. So the only stay ball I have and that I've tried so far is the stay ball 6.5, the original. So I need to get the new ones that came out, and they're definitely. If I see them, I'm going to get them. I guess I just got to go to a gun store before I'm going to have any chance of seeing them. I haven't been to a gun store in a long time, so it's definitely on the list, no doubt about it. Yeah, a lot of people weighed in on the Backcountry. It's apparently a long action cartridge. Yeah, much bigger than I thought. Okay, all right. Now I'm definitely not interested. PTS Brian sounds like he's from the future. Audio's not loud, but seems distorted. It might be. Let me check a setting here. Sorry, folks. Advanced audio properties. I bet it's coming out of my speaker and maybe hitting my mic. It's hearing. Machines are coming to take over. Try the 88 grain burger in the 6. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. 223 PMC brass, any good? Ugh. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to get a batch of it, but if you've got some, probably good. I'm trying to remember, do the PMCs have decent flash holes? Like, are they centered and stuff? I know some of the brass from the cheaper factory ammo flash holes are just an abomination. But I'm sure you'll be able to get some good accuracy out of it.
Thanks Famch super chatted $4.99. Glad to have your back. Hope you get going again. I really like your work.
Thanks NKSF SM. Appreciate you. Should a 7 PRC 26-inch barrel use slower powders than 24-inch? How does heavier versus lighter bullets play into this? And like 2 inches of barrel length, especially with a barrel that long, like I would think that all of the appropriate powders for the cartridge are going to have a complete burn in a 24 or 26 anyway, I would think. So some of your very slowest powders might pick up some velocity.
Robert Bettick super chatted $9.99 for the years of reloading content and some 90 grains CX Grendel bullets.
Hey, thank you, Robert. I really appreciate that. So yeah, usually heavier bullets you use slower powders, and slower powders are better at gaining velocity in a longer barrel, kind of, for the most part. That's very generalized. There's neither one of those things may actually be true for you. I mean, in reality, it's like, okay, 7 PRC, the standard bullet weights that most people shoot, it's going to be the same powders for the most part across the. But the very lightest bullets are probably going to shoot, you're going to find load data with faster powders. And the very, very heaviest bullets, you're going to find load data with maybe some slower powders that aren't used in the lighter ones. But yeah, barrel length, 2 inches shouldn't be a big difference. Now, if you were talking like you had a 12-inch pistol 7 PRC, I don't know if those exist, and a 30-inch rig, like, yeah, you're gonna want some faster powders for that super duper short barrel. But yeah, 24-26, I don't think be much of a thing. Anyone hear about the new Vitavory powder? What was it? N568 or something? I've got some N565 that I don't even think I've even shot. Bought it for 300 Win Mag, and it's slow for the Win Mag. So I don't, is the 568 for like the 338 Lapuas and stuff? Is that what that's for? I would assume maybe. Miss Elvis Ammo, yeah, man. I hope old Elvis Ammo is doing good. How do I like those 70 GMX on the desk? Have a bunch to reload. Apparently, at some point, I shot. This box has 20, so at some point, I've shot 30 of them, but I can't remember. If they were outstanding, I would have remembered. So I think my first test, probably not that great, but I've got 70 more. Here in one of my next couple of videos, you'll be seeing them, and we'll see if they shoot any better.
Super chatted $9.99. Any plans for 22 ARC? Hope you're doing well, man, missed you. BTW, do you want any 30 calories 178 ELDMs? I got some to spare.
Hey, thanks very much, Connor. Looks like I just had a internet outage there. I'm on Starlink, so if it drops every once in a while, that's the thing that's going to happen.
Corbin Hall super chatted $19.99. Missy your vids, love watching them with my grandfather who reloads.
Thank you, Connor, and thank you, Corbin. I really appreciate you guys. Any plans for the 22 ARC? Not anytime soon, and probably not even in the long term, because I don't do much unless I get into varmint hunting, I guess. Or, yeah, I had a 22 Nosler, I had a 224 Valkyrie, and that was kind of, I just didn't have the motivation to really work a lot with them because I just didn't have a good use for them. So, I feel like the 22 ARC might be, there's that bug. I think I got him. But yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people ask about it. A lot of people really love the 22s. So maybe one of these days, but nothing in the super short term. Do I want any 30 cal 178 ELD matches? I've got a couple boxes of those, I'm pretty sure. So I appreciate the offer, but I think I'm good to go there. I've got a whole bunch of 30 cal stuff in that weight class. You know, getting rid of some of these 22 caliber bullets that have been laying around forever is task number one, but I've got a bunch of 30 caliber random stuff that I'd like to shoot through well, so yeah, I'm kind of in that mode. I want to reduce my stockpile, especially since a lot of my stockpile is getting a little bit long in the tooth. Some of it's discontinued. It's nice to, kind of refresh the stock every once in a while, and I'm definitely a time period where that's what I'd like to do. Some people having sound issues. Hopefully it was that, I dropped some frames there for a little bit, had a little internet outage, but it's back now. Hopefully everything's good to go. What would chat recommend, 22 Creedmoor or 22 250? I think the question, if I had that question, first thing I would look at is what is the common barrel twist of the 22 250 versus the 22 Creedmoor? Are you wanting to shoot heavy bullets that would need the fast? I assume the 22 Creedmoor has a faster standard twist than a 22 250. You could, of course, get a fast twist 22 250, but just kind of in general, the stock layout. If you want to shoot heavies, the Creedmoor might be the better option.
Base 300 super chatted $5. Are Magnum small primers not a solution to the hangfire problem in the Creedmoor versus regular large rifle? T Murray super chatted $19.99. Would proudly wear a don't blow your face off tee or hoodie. Thank you for teaching me how to reload. Shaushi super chatted $10. Any experience with LT30 in 5.56? I was using just 22 grains with some 55 grains plinkers in a 16 inches mid-length gas rifle and seeing smeared ejectors.
All right, thank you for the super chats. I'll get to them here one at a time. I know a lot of people were complaining about audio. I just could hear it on the roof. I've got a storm rolling through. I'm using Starlink internet, so we might be going through a rough time here for a few minutes. But hopefully things have cleared up. Let me know if they haven't. So, our Magnum small primer is not a solution to the hangfire problem in the Creedmoor versus regular large rifle. Not really. And thank you for the super chat, Bass. So in that video, I was using the CCI 450 Magnum primer, and primers do make a lot of difference. I think a lot of people were mentioning that the Winchester, I guess, does pretty good at hang fire avoidance in the Creedmoor, so that might be something. But it's been 6 or 7 years ago since I made those hang fire videos. I can't really remember all of the details of my findings. But I did a 4-video series all about, we were trying to make hang fires happen and trying different primers and trying different stuff. So yeah, just be on your toes. It's all about load density. Anytime you're shooting a low density load, maybe pull out some large primer brass, or just be very careful and make sure that you're not having problems. Thank you, T. Murray. I appreciate that. You'd proudly wear a Don't Blow Your Face Off tee or hoodie. Maybe one of these days. Might just do it. So, Shudushi. Any experience with LT30 and 5.56? I was using just 22 grains with some 55 grain plinkers and a 16-inch mid-length gas rifle and seeing smeared ejectors. LT30 is super fast. I've got a bottle of it. Well, I'll use some here in next couple videos. I'll pull out some LT30 because that's what, like, my wall of powder back here. I was kind of pulling out everything I could think of that I might want to use in 223, but especially with some of these lighter ones, LT30, I'll be able to find load data and stuff. But yeah, 22 grains does seem like pretty light load, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's super fast, man. It's really, really fast, and pressure will get out of control very quickly when you've got charge weights that small and a powder that fast for the cartridge. So stay tuned. I'll have some LT30 here pretty soon. I don't have any other use for that powder, so it's like I kind of need to get rid of it. I know, like, I did do some with Reloader 7, which I think that's about the same burn rate. Probably. Like, we had a bunch of success. I think we were shooting the little 35 grain bullets, or like the super light 5.56 stuff, using Reloader 7 with a bunch of success. Like, it was shooting great. LT30's another one kind of in that class. Just super fast for the cartridge. Grandpa 6 PPC on the radar? Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely want to pull out the PPC soon. Shoot some more little groups. All right, let me jump forward. So, as of right now, how is the audio? Haven't seen any complaints here in the last 30 or so messages. Glenn said audio is 5x5 now. A little while ago. Michael says the Hang Fire series is one of my favorites. I remember the results being interesting. We were definitely. It was surprising to me how easy it was to run into them. Mazman Mechanic on the 22-250 versus 22 Creedmoor. He would pick the 22 Creedmoor, but he's owned a Fast Twist 22-250 for 15 years or so. Like, what I would like if you decided to go the Fast Twist 22-250 route, the problem would be it's like, okay, I'm going to shoot 75, 80, 90 grain bullets in my 22-250. Like, finding load data for that is going to be tough. Right? It's a non-standard setup. I assume it's probably, it's a whole lot easier to find load data for bullets that were kind of appropriate for the original SAMI spec of the cartridge. Yeah, the 6.9 by 69 DBYFO. We need to make that at some point. Like, audio's okay. I'm sorry, like, there's no way for me to keep up with chat. So I know people get angry sometimes, like they post their question several times, and I just keep on missing it. I apologize for that. I'm sure you're out there. I'm sure there's a couple of you. Is 6.5 PRC worth it? One already has a good 6.5 Creedmoor. I would say no, right? I mean, it's a couple hundred more feet per second. I would spend my money on something different, a little bit of variety in life. Just about to say that Hornady manual has 22250 load data up to 80 grains.
Thorzax super chatted $20. I especially enjoyed your videos on your late grandfather's calibers and guns he had for them, the 6M PPC and the 32-40. I wish you did more on the 32-40 though.
That's another good. Thank you again, Thorzax. I really appreciate you, man. I'd love to pull the 32-40 out some more. I've got a bunch of cool bullets for it. And yeah. Might actually do that soon. I was actually, somebody had mentioned, or somebody had commented on one of the old 6 PPC videos, and I went back to see what he was talking about or something, and like, man, yeah, I need to get it out, need to shoot it some more. A lot of fun. Is 6 ARC the best small framed gas gun caliber? Man, you're going to have to be way more specific on a question like that. Like, what do you want to do with it? All depends. Like, 6 ARC is awesome. I think it's a good deer cartridge. Good long range cartridge.
Super chatted $5. What are your thoughts on 25 Creedmoor and 338 ARC for deer? Thanks.
I don't have any thoughts on 25 Creedmoor. Have they, is there a 25 Creedmoor? Have they Sammy'd a 25 Creedmoor now? I'm so out of touch, man. But yeah, if you're a 25 caliber guy and they've released a Creedmoor, then go for it. All the Creedmoors are good. Like, Hornady hasn't released a bad cartridge a long time, I don't think, so might as well go for it. 338 ARC for deer. Like, what's the bullet for that? I don't know what bullets are on the market for a low velocity 338. They may not exist. So before you go thinking it's a deer cartridge, I'd make sure, to have a bullet in mind. Yeah, maybe look into that. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Somebody else, thoughts on the 25? I guess they must have just released this 5 Creedmoor. Sammy cert for 25 Creedmoor, 118.25. Interesting. So brand new. Cool. What's the bullet selection look like in 25 caliber?
EM super chatted $19.99. Break out the old SKS.
Yeah, EM. By God. Gotta love the SKS. Like, this past deer season, whenever I had some 123 grain gold dots loaded up for the SKS. And that was like the only deer load I had loaded up and ready to go. So the couple times I went out deer hunting, that's what I carried. So we'll break it out, right? It shoots like crap and, whatever, but it's fun to shoot. Definitely fun to shoot. 25 cal bullet selections are coming around. They're making heavy 25 cals now. That's cool. 25 cals making a comeback. I got no problems with that. Yeah, like if you guys remember the 257 Roberts video I did, I ended up shooting a deer with that. I think that was a Game King, a Sierra Game King I loaded for that. It did a great job on a little buck. Didn't go far at all. Andy recommended the cavity backs a year ago on Twitch. Glad to see you test them out. Yeah, somebody had sent me those. I think he hadn't had much luck with them and sent me what he had left. Happy to see those results there with H4350 and the Creedmoor. That was pretty encouraging. Sammy, talked to Hornady today. Horizon Firearms pushed for Sammy cert. They have no plans to release ammo and they do not have loads. Give them a little time. They'll cook up some bullets and decide they'd like to sell them. Dave says, do I have any favorite gun-related YouTube channels? I literally do not watch gun videos. Like the old ones, and I think there's a whole new batch. Like that Backfire guy. That was the first time I had really seen any of his stuff, and he didn't seem too annoying. And the Ron Spomer guy didn't seem too annoying. And I don't like the old gun channels. I got really, really sick of, and I just stopped watching gun content. But it seems like there's a new batch of modern gun channels that are a little bit less annoying than the old ones. But nope, I don't have any recommendations, fortunately. More load and hunt and cook vids, please. I can try that. What do I think about Accurate Mag Pro in 300 Win Mag? I bought a bottle of Mag Pro, and I don't remember ever opening it. So one of these days we'll get around to testing it. Cavity backs look like they did a good job. Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know how those really expand. I don't know if, they have those big slits down the ogive. I'm not sure if they pedal out into like 4 pieces and break apart, and then the main body is kind of the penetrator, if they're that style, which I'm not completely against that style. Albert says Mag Pro's okay in 300 Win Mag if you can't get H1000.
Ghosto 5 super chatted $10. Glad to see you are back. How is your farm?
Hey, NSG, thank you very much for the super chat. Not much of a farm right now. I don't even have any chickens. The pigs are all gone. So, as of right now, it's not much of a farm. But I'm thinking about getting some chickens this spring. Pastor Dan says, Sierra's load data app is up and running again. That's good to hear. I didn't realize it was down. It's been a while since I've used it. I can't remember, that's a subscription, right? I'm sure my subscription's lapsed. I probably need to fire that back up. Rest in peace, Paul. Yeah, Paul Harrell was good. I really enjoyed Paul Harrell's videos. Have I ever played with an Ackley improved cartridge? No, I have not. Never even fired one. Use the MKZ and Grendel Creed in your 30-06. No chickens, they poop gold nuggets. Exactly, man. I'm sure they've jacked up the feed prices these days. I actually found a local feed store back when I had chicken. Or actually, it was whenever I was trying to find hog feed to feed the pigs. And that place had chicken feed as well that was dirt cheap. Much cheaper than, your Tractor Supply prices and stuff. chickens really loved it. Need to go back there and see if it's still cheap.
Speedy Super chatted $10. Have you looked at the new Athlon Rangecraft chronograph coming out at the end of March and is priced $350, better than Garmin?
Hey, Speedy, thanks for the super chat, man. I have not, but I did hear about it. Heard, I guess it just got released at the SHOT Show or whatever. So I'm all for affordable. So I'll probably end up going with that one if it looks to have the similar features. Did Caldwell put out a radar chronograph as well? Seems like I saw somebody using one that said Caldwell on it. Well, so I don't know, but is this Athlon, is it a small one like the Garmin, or is it something a little bit bigger? Seems like that other one I saw was kind of in between. Oh, it was West Desert Shooter. That's who it was. So he posted a video, and I don't know which chronograph he was using, but it was kind of in between size. Still pretty compact, but definitely bigger than the Garmin. So, and Michael says the Caldwell Velociradar. Gotcha. What's their price on that guy? When did YouTube stop showing live chat on the TV app? Works just fine if I'm watching on my phone. Yeah, I thought about doing that. Like, I can put the chat on the screen. I used to do that. Maybe that's what you're remembering. I can't remember. Yeah, I can do that, but I just haven't. If you guys would like that, I can do that. Okay, so the Athlon is small like the Garmin. Gotcha. Caldwell was the same price as the Lab Radar. That's lame. Well, maybe not. I mean, frickin' Lab Radar. I mean, if the Caldwell's got a halfway decent app that's responsive and doesn't constantly disconnect and give problems and connect to Android phones and all the problems that never got fixed on the Lab Radar, then probably a better deal. They're made in China, the price is going up, yeah. Maybe so. Yeah, the days of our $10 reloading scales are probably gone too. Just a hair bigger than the Garmin. I'm good with that. Like the Garmin's like the size of a freaking GoPro, isn't it? Lab Radar has a small one now, but it's pricey. Gotcha. Velociradar is really nice. Caldwell's $4.99, but needs some refinement. Caldwell app has issues. All right, yeah, like maybe it takes a giant freaking company like Garmin to give us an app that's decent. Then Garmin is going to get our business. This whole Athlon thing, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how well the freaking app works first.
Super chatted $5. Any experience with Gordon's reloading tool? It's similar to Quick Load, but it's free or donation based.
Hey, RR, yes. I've used Gordon's reloading tool some, and I've used the pressure trace app with my pressure thingy. Yeah, I don't remember what they call that. But yeah, I am familiar with it. The unfortunate part is that Gordon died, and they were, last I checked in on them, they were scrambling trying to get access to whatever code they could and try to get to a point where they could continue with the project. And I think somebody with the project stopped by video or a live stream here in the last week or two and said they were getting close to releasing a new version or getting back under control and continuing development. So yeah, I definitely suggest everybody go check out Gordon's reloading tool. Can't beat the price. Like you say, it's free. Okay, Michael. West Desert Shooter uses the FX Outdoors Chrono, $749. Pretty pricey. You can add live chat to your screen. Click the icon to the left of the downvote button. Interesting. Dixer would be willing to let me borrow the Garmin for a couple months if I'm interested. Haven't done any shooting in over a year. Don't worry about it. I think I'm good.
Long Range Maniac super chatted $9.99. What kind of editing software do you use? Heavily thinking of making a few videos. Definitely new to that scene.
Yeah, Jixer, I'll plug along with the lab radar. It does okay. Like I've got my process down. I can keep going until maybe some reviews on this athlon come out. See where we go, because if the athlon's not going to be a winner, then I'll probably just need to go ahead and get a Garmin. So might as well just pull the trigger and get one. Get up off the wallet and get the pain over with. Yeah, Long Range Maniac. I use DaVinci Resolve. It's free. It's it's hard and it's a pain in the ass to use, and you're going to need to watch some tutorial videos, and nothing is intuitive, and editing sucks. But once you figure out how to do what you want to do and get keyboard shortcuts set up and get your flow down and everything, it's not a big deal. I used to use what did I used to use? I used to use Adobe Premiere Pro, and it was like $30 a month or something. Yeah, that was. Don't waste your money. The free version of DaVinci Resolve does everything that you need to do. So, So that's the way I would definitely suggest. Bolt Action Reloading says the Athlon looks promising. You saw their app in the unit. That is good news. Garmin employees get Garmin products half price.
Saib super chatted $10. Glad to see you live. Could you shout a happy birthday to my brother Garrett? We appreciate you.
Of course, Saib. Like, happy birthday, Garrett. I hope he's a good brother. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. The new lab radar is great. Night and day different than the old one. Have used it suppressed and everything without issue. I mean, I think, I don't know for sure. What I would presume happened is they put a really crappy Bluetooth radio in the original lab radar. And it's just like the connection issues and what phones and tablets it supports and everything was a mess. And I assume they weren't able to fix it in software or make it work in software. So hopefully they chose better components this time, and hopefully, the other thing was it was a really, really long time before they gave any, updates to the app or anything. Hopefully with the new one, they're going to actually support it a little bit more actively and be more responsive to people's complaints and stuff. Should we watch the reloading the 7mm backcountry video? It. See if I can manage to play this. Work okay.
With the recent introduction of the 7mm Backcountry cartridge and the PEEK alloy case, we've been getting a lot of questions regarding reloadability. First things first, the case is absolutely reloadable, and we're going to go through that demonstration here today. We here at Federal have been reloading this case throughout the entire development process. We are currently working with reloading companies to develop commercial dies, load data, and procedures. What you see here today are prototypes of that process, but the dies and data will be available soon. So what we're going to do is take a box of ammo like you would find off the shelf. This is our 170 grain terminal ascent load. We're going to take it downstairs and shoot it in our range, and then we're going to come back up here and walk through the reloading process.
Can you guys hear this okay? Hopefully you can hear it. Let me know if you can't.
So what I'll do here is I'll take one of these cases and I'll mark it up just so we can follow that case through the process. So here we are down in the alley. What we're going to do is shoot some of our factory loaded 170 grain terminal ascent ammo. We've got a rifle from our friends at Proof Research here and a Garmin that we'll look at muzzle velocities with.
I noticed in the comments a lot of people were giving the lab coat a hard time. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to leave it. You don't know. We all have a work uniform, man. We all have a uniform at work. So this is this guy's uniform.
One thing I did want to point out is that you will see two different case finishes between the products that we're shipping out. The Fusion will have this more matte, dull-looking finish, whereas all of our premium products will have the shiny, nickel-plated finish. The difference between the two is that on the shiny cases, the plating is on the inside and the outside, whereas the plating on the Fusion load is only on the outside. For that,
I think he said that wrong. Okay, so the Fusion cases suck. Don't reload those. But it's matte. Like if the coating was on the outside, like he just said, wouldn't it be shiny on the outside? I think he's like it's only coated on the inside, maybe. Yeah, that's the part that didn't make sense to me.
For that reason, we're recommending that people only reload the premium, shiny-looking plated cases. So here we are back in the Federal Customs Shop. We're going to walk through the reloading process now. It's important to point out that we're using prototype dies and our factory load for this. Reloading data and equipment will be forthcoming. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of case lubricant to this, and then we're going to full length size the case.
It would have been hilarious if they got a stuck case right there. I think they would have started over and reshot it. Started the shoot over.
Well, there we go.
Or if it made like a really big creaking noise, like oh, this case is about to stick, like, yeah.
So now we're going to prime the case using a GM 210 primer. Okay, so the next step in the process is we're going to put a slight flare on the mouth of the case. This helps get the bullets started into the case so the seating goes smoothly.
I know a guy who was just talking about that in his last video.
So now we're going to drop our powder into the case. The final step is to seat our terminal ascent bullet.
Wow.
So we just finished reloading these cases. Now we're back down in the alley and we're going to shoot.
See that marking? The same case. Proof that it's the same case.
So there you have it. The PEEK alloy case is reloadable. And as you can see, you're still able to achieve the same results that you can get with the factory ammo. Now again, components, dies, and reloading data will be available soon, so keep an eye out for that.
All right. So, one of the comments I saw was asking, it's like, okay, if this coding is so important, like you can only reload the cases that are coated on the inside and the outside, like what happens when you trim? That's going to expose some raw steel, I guess. So is it going to be, rust problems around the mouth of the
Echo
case?
Foxtrot Whiskey Super Chatted $1.99. Any plans for new suppressors?
Hey, Echo Foxtrot Whiskey, thank you very much for that. No plans for new suppressors. I've got 2, and I didn't shoot a gun at all in 2024, so, I need to get a shooting hobby before I go expanding my suppressor collection. So, yeah, I don't know, there wasn't really any fresh info in that video, I guess, other than, I guess, to, prove that it can happen, but interesting. It's echoing again okay, yeah, I just need to mute the desktop audio again. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. That's a good, yeah, I know what was causing the super chat audio problems now. It came back just now. Need to make sure to mute that desktop audio whenever it happens. Trimming steel cases sounds like it would be rough on the equipment. Yeah, can you imagine like what's that trimmer going to look like? What's it going to like? Yeah, that how much are your fingers going to hurt when you sit down to trim about 1,000 cases of that? Case is only good for 3 or 4 shots. No need to trim with a case life of 3 to like. Is that real info or are you guessing? A weather radio just went off. Got all sorts of flood warnings and all sorts of crap. Been watching a guy reloading who was watching a guy reloading. I'm not reloading, man. I'm just talking. We just happen to be sitting at a bench. It was a guy sitting at a reloading bench watching a guy reload. Paul says he's got the new lab radar. It's made of metal. That's good, which is nice. Yeah, the app is updated. Doesn't crash on me with the LX so far. Only missed about 2 shots out of 450 or so. That is good stuff. Any plans for adding stay ball match to the Mark 262 series? Yes, definitely. I just need to get some. Yeah, an awesome head to high ground, man. I will. Keeping my eye out. Water starts rising. I'm out of here. I'm gonna waddle my fat ass up the hill. Carbide trimmer head at $50 a pop, probably. Probably so. It's really mild still with a hardness similar to brass. Did I get my trees cleaned up on? Oh man, thanks for bringing that up. No, I haven't, but now it's on my mind again. Been raining, man. Give me a break. Flooded real bad there in West Virginia last night. 6 arc really took off finally. Yeah, and that's, that 6 arc has what 6.5 Grendel didn't have, which was a company behind it. 6 arc has Hornady to push it and to keep ammo on the shelves and to create interesting bullets and purpose-built bullets and all the good stuff you need for a cartridge to really get popular. I think it'll be here to stay. And like I said, if there's one knock on the 6.5 Grendel, it's that, man, it could do with a couple hundred more feet per second of velocity for bullet expansion reasons. And, well, 6 arc gives you a couple hundred feet more, of velocity. So it might, I need to shoot more of the 6 arc. I've got one, it shoots great. We shot it a little, but I still don't have more than 400 or 500 rounds through it. I need to get more familiar with it and comfortable with it. I need to learn to love it. I need to find my favorite bullets. I need to shoot some animals. It might be the superior choice as far as like a generic recommendation for a deer cartridge in the AR-15. Cases are supposed to last longer than brass with minimal trimming. You all need to get your story straight because we just heard 3 or 4 firings. Now it's supposed to last longer. Just left Albany, Kentucky. Had a tornado come through south of Livingston, Tennessee. NGA Outdoors misses 8208. I didn't realize it was off the market or that it was, pretty much impossible to find. Luckily, I've got a couple pounds, but, not much point in using it in videos if nobody else can get it. 6 Arc had the 243 history to help with bullets. That's true. Jason's at his bench, watching me at my bench, watching that guy reload at his bench. Hey, Chunky's got some 85 grain trophy coppers. Gladly send me for a test. I want to hold off. I appreciate the offer very, very much. I want to hold off and try to get through some stuff first. I don't want to overwhelm myself with stuff to shoot. You know what I mean? With videos in the queue. Thank you very much, but I'm going to focus on 22 for a couple videos and see where we get, and then go from there. So maybe in a couple weeks. It came out with ARC a week after you built your Grendel. And that's the good thing is that they're both great. I mean, Grendel's pretty awesome. I don't think it's going anywhere, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of us built Grendels. A lot of us came to love the cartridge. And even if popularity wanes and people go to the ARC, to the 6 ARC more often, it's still going to be around. Still quite a few factory ammo offerings. It's a freaking stink bug. I don't want to smash it. It's going to stink the place up. Just want him to leave me alone. That's the problem. It was like 70 degrees yesterday. I had the doors and windows open and everything. I got about 1 billion ladybugs and stink bugs flying in the house. Russell says maybe a rimfire series for new content. Like, there's not much there. You're just like watching a guy shoot groups. Like, yeah, without the reloading, I don't know, right? I'd just be a poor man's 22 Plinkster at that point. If I ever considered doing competitive shooting, I tell you what, man, I would love to go shoot Camp Perry one summer. If I'm going to, well, I guess you can have a scope now. So in the past, it was like, man, my eyesight's getting worse every year. If I'm going to do it, I need to do it quick while I can still see the sights. Apparently, stink bugs and cilantro have the same smell compound. You just made that up, didn't you? Hadn't heard that one. The bolt action AR-15 upper 6.5 Grendel. That seems silly. I'm going to be honest with you. That seems downright silly. If it was that warm, I could have cut the tree. It was raining, bro. I ain't trying to have the chainsaw out there and it's raining. I'm going to slip and cut my freaking leg off, bro. Safety first, man. Don't cut your leg off. Don't blow your face off. Don't cut your leg off. My two mantras. Got one in 6 arc. The bolt action AR upper. Interesting. 6 arc versus 6 PPC, same bullet test. Well, so the 6 PPC, what is it, 58 grain bullets, I think? Or 60s or something like that. They shoot very light bullets. It's an extremely slow twist barrel. So, the 6 arc would be way out of its comfort zone, right? It'd be weird. I ever tried the 100 grain Nosler ballistic tip in 6.5 Grendel? I don't think I have. I'm not the biggest fan of Nosler. I've had some luck with Nosler, but I usually don't go out of my way to try Noslers unless somebody, recommends them or has luck with them. So, no, I don't think I've tried the 100 grain Nosler ballistic tip 6.5. Surprised we're not seeing more 6 arc guns on YouTube that shoot like the 6 PPC. I thought these 6 arcs would shoot like the 6 BR. Well, like I'm just mentioned, it comes down to, well, it comes down to a lot of things, but I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question, I guess. I don't. Well, I guess I just don't know enough about the 6 PPC to go run in my mouth here. Is why I'm holding back so much. But so like my 6 PPC, very tight throat or very tight chamber. Right, I have to neck turn the brass to fit in the gun. You're not going to see that in a 6 arc. So like if a 6 arc was given kind of the bench rest treatment with an extremely tight chamber and that sort of stuff, maybe it would shoot like a 6 PPC. I don't know. Right? The geometry of the cartridge is so close. Like, I bet it would be pretty good. Like I'm dropping frames. Internet's barely working. You guys still hearing my audio? Ryan is excited about the 25-45 Sharps. I'm going to be honest with you. Like all those Sharps cartridges and like the 25-45 came out, 10 years or so ago and didn't really go much of anywhere. A lot of it, yeah, like I don't know. I don't have much use for it, I guess, or I don't know why it didn't catch on. But if you've got one and you love it, I'm super happy for you. Just, yeah, not sure what else to say about the 25-45 Sharps. What does it? What do you got to tell me about it, brother? Is it what makes it good? 25 caliber. We were talking about a little bit earlier. It's getting more and more popular. Bullets are coming out and stuff like that. Is the standard twist of a 25-45 Sharps fast enough to shoot the fancy new bullets that are coming out with the 25 Creedmoor and all that crap? I don't know. Let me know. Audio's good. All right. Yeah, it's saying I've dropped 6.3% of my frames lately. Thought the cat was messing with the phone. Have I done anything in 22 arc? No, I haven't. I did some 22 Nosler and I did some 224 Valkyrie, but haven't messed with the 22 arc. Any chance of more 243 content? Definitely. I've got two 243s that belong to my grandfather, and I've done some videos with one of them, but I don't think I've shot the other one on a video yet. So we need to pull it out, heavier barrel set up. So yeah. The Big E, did I see the 300 WSM using the Barnes TTSX 212 bore rider? Needs a long action, but has elk energy to 1,000 yards. Sounds like a killer. You can get 62,000 PSI for a 6-arc bolt gun. Put a clock on stream so I know if I'm stuck or not. I'll just keep doing this. Six Creedmoor would be fun. Got a bug crawling. I got bugs everywhere. Yeah, that's that same stink bug. All right. Hopefully he's gone. What a ding dong, right? Like I've smacked him and swatted him 15 times. You'd think he'd get the point. A very, very dumb bug. As far as bugs go, that's got to be one of the dumbest ones I've met so far. Did I ever have the clicker issue in 6.5 PRC? Nope, I don't think I did. Just with like when closing the bolt, having some clicking problems, I never did. Never really got to high round count on the brass though. My brother's got a new 6.5 PRC. I'll be keeping track of that. Hopefully we don't have problems. Going back to see if the Sharps guy made another comment. Did I miss it again? He got angry there. He was spamming the Sharps, and yeah, I never saw the follow up. I hope his sharpshoots lights out, man. I hope it shoots bug holes and kills everything he wants it to kill. A lot more interest in the 22 Creedmoor than the 22 Arc. It really all depends on, what sort of gun you're wanting to build, I reckon. Pistol ammo is getting pretty expensive. That's good news, man. If it gets expensive enough, people will start reloading. Then they can complain about not being able to find components with the rest of us. Any strong feelings about the 21 Sharp? I didn't know that existed. I believe that's the first time I've ever heard of that. I have 700. Are you serious? 766 people watching right now. Say you've been missed is an understatement. What are they watching for? This is lame. See, my thing says 422. That's still an absurd number of people. Like, I'm glad you guys are here and everything, but like, dang. I'm not that interesting, am I? Vortex Nation has some good info on the Bore Rider. I believe the storm is messing up my signal. It's looking okay at this very specific second, but it's definitely been causing some problems. Need to keep moving the hands so you guys know still alive. Large primer is hard to find. 25-45 sharp sounds good to you. Just been waiting on the barrel prices to come down. What's my take on the 7mm Backcountry? Think it's a flop for reloading? Well, you missed it, man. We watched the video a second ago. Over here, we watched the video. They showed you that it can be reloaded. I don't know why you don't believe them. We'll just have to wait and see, man, right? Like, I'm sure they were excited to get their new cartridge out. The products aren't ready. There's no components to put on the market. There's no dies being made. We'll give it time. If it comes out, that's fine. I'm not interested in being the beta tester. I'm not going to be the guy trying it out first. You guys try it out. Let me know. If it's good, then, I'll get one. Why not? All about good stuff. But I'm not going to be the guy who just gets it to tell you that it sucks. Talk more about the weather. We could watch Ryan Hall, y'all. He live streaming. Thoughts on the 300 hammer? Should it die out? I don't know. I thought, around the time when I was making videos a couple years ago, people were having luck with it, weren't they? Isn't it Ohio legal and stuff and all that? I can't imagine it's going to die out unless it's been replaced by something better. Video and audio is great right now. See? It's the voice, not the hand. Well, if we catch it at the right time, the voice should break up at the same time the hand movement breaks up. I would imagine. Nine-hole reviews took 6 arc to 1,000 yards, and it was the best rifle performance they ever had. Sounds like a nice rifle. It can definitely get the job done, right? Trying to catch up with chat here. Sorry for the silence. Been to one of my live streams, you'll know kind of how it works. I get like a half hour behind on chat. Stop talking, start reading. I don't know why you people are here. No clue. Second, an annealer video. Yeah, I'm going to do an annealer video once I have some brass to anneal. Got a whole bunch of 6.5 Creedmoor ready to go. Got a bunch of 223 that we need to shoot. And then we'll need to anneal that at some point. So once I've got some brass, then we'll do an annealing video. I'll show you my new induction annealer that I built. How much does seating die affect group size? I would say not that much. Assuming that it's got a good seating stem that fits your bullet well. If you've got the wrong seating stem in your seating die, or if your seating die doesn't have a setup where you can swap stems, if that die's stem is not a good match for your bullet, you can have problems. It can damage the bullet and hurt accuracy. I'm sure there's some way where it wouldn't align the bullet well. Maybe you'd get some concentricity issues. So there are definitely problems that can be caused by a seating die. But I've shot a whole bunch of tiny little groups that with bullets that were seated with the cheapest, seating die, basic seating die out of a Lee kit or an RCBS kit or anything like that. So assuming the setup is right and your fundamentals are right and it's put together right and things fit properly, doesn't affect group size whatsoever. You can shoot tiny little groups with a cheap bullet seating die. If you're having problems, however, like I said, maybe your bullets, you're shooting big VLD bullets, but the seating stem in your seating die is just a really, really bad fit. That might be the perfect place to invest some money, get a better seating die, and improve your group size. Hopefully that was confusing enough. Speedy and Paintball Maniac, they love their 350 Legends. Yeah, that was another one I was always hearing good stuff about. The problem, you get a bunch of good cartridges out on the market, and then people want to complain about which ones are better. Like, what if they're all good?
Rollis Carvelis, the Gungemius Super Shattered $5.
Hey, thank you, Rollis. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. A cheap annealer, it's a homemade DIY induction annealer, but it isn't particularly cheap. I got several $100s in it, and it was quite the DIY project. You're going to need to learn how to, well, not necessarily, but you're well served to learn how to play with Arduinos, and yeah, it's a whole project. I'll do a video about it at some point. No, Big E, not getting an encore yet. Hey, Bubba, good luck with your YouTube channel. That's the thing. We need more YouTube channels, man. And if I'm not going to do 7 Backcountry, think of all the people that could launch a channel with 7 Backcountry. We've got, somebody just said, we've got 65,000 viewers right now. One of you guys needs to start a YouTube channel. Wear that backcountry out. Become the backcountry expert. Everybody's asking about it. Everybody wants to watch. I'll push the crap out of your channel, brother. Come on over and be like, hey, come to my chat. Be like, hey, I'm the backcountry YouTube guy. Come to my channel. No problems with that. That way I don't have to do it. Hey, thanks, Learwood. Appreciate that. I'm glad to be back. I'm enjoying it. These first couple videos have been enjoyable. The groups have sucked in the last 2, but I didn't let that get to me. We expected them to suck. I suspect the next couple of videos, the groups are probably going to suck quite a bit as well. Just got to keep my chin up. Now people are talking about primer pocket swaging. That crap's for the birds, man. I don't do none of that trash. I get myself an RCBS swage remover, chuck it in a drill, and take them off mechanically. Screw all that swaging crap. Who's got that little bench swager? Is it Dylan? It's probably Dylan. That seems like something a Dylan guy would have. I always heard that was good. Yeah, I just use the military crimp remover. RCBS military crimp remover. Easier than any suede you'll ever find. When are we Metroid dreading on Twitch next? Actually, let's see. I'll probably be on there tomorrow. And I'll log in with this account. I've got a smaller account that just, video gamer crap. But I'll log into my Johnny's Reloading Bench account. Stream over there tomorrow at some point. Play a little bit of Dread. Dan wants to send me some 410 hauls. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that very much. I'm not sure if you're the same person, but I've had several people offer, and I appreciate it. I don't want to make the videos if the components aren't out there. Like I make a video and a turkey guy sees it and he's like, "Man, I'm psyched about this. I'm not going to have to pay $10 for a shot anymore." And then he goes and he can't get those components. I'd rather there at least be a little bit of stock hitting the market before I make that video. So I'm probably going to stick to 12 gauge this.
Mr. Pave super chatted $20. Been watching you for years. Thanks for the wisdom and pearls of wisdom. Thanks to your 223 and 6.5 Creedmoor videos have helped my group size tremendously. Wish you the best, brother.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Pave. I really appreciate that. Glad to hear your groups are shrinking. It's a whole lot easier than you thought when you started, probably. You just got to find the right powder and bullet combination. That's what accuracy is all about. That's another video I need to make at some point, is the big fight that happened a couple years ago with the Hornady podcast, where they came out and said load development's a big bunch of crap and it's a huge waste of time, and people were mad and all that. I'm completely on Hornady's side 100%. Everything they said in those podcasts, I'm on board with 100%. I need to rewatch them and make a video of my own at some point talking about that, because I really need to come up with my new load development methodology. What are my videos going to look like going forward? I'm not sure. Yeah, Hemi Scrub watched my video on the 3240 last night. Any chance it'll come back out of the safe for another video? Absolutely. 100%. That's a fun little gun, a really neat cartridge. Unlike most stuff people are shooting these days, it's something a little different, change of pace sort of cartridge. So it'll definitely be back, and maybe soon. I don't know if you'll probably see the 6 PPC first. I'd like to shoot some itty bitty little groups. Maybe the next really nice warm day I get, maybe I'll plan to shoot the 6 PPC. The 3240 will be shortly after that, I guess. Yeah, Trek, we watched that video here a little bit earlier on the stream. The 7mm Backcountry is reloadable. Lack of components is infuriating, followed closely by the price. I agree with you. Any interest in ever getting a progressive? I love loading rifle on my T7, but 9mm plinking ammo kind of makes me lose my mind. Been eyeing the X10. Probably not. I don't shoot pistol, at all. And I don't really shoot. I fired 10 rounds last year. In a whole year, I shot 10 rounds. So having a Dylan that'll do 3,500 rounds a minute seems like a waste of money, Probably better to focus on the small batch side of reloading and let some others handle the progressive side. RMR, people talking about RMR. 61R Logan says RMR has been around for a minute. Yeah, they've been around a long time. 10 or 15 years ago, I think is probably when I first tried their stuff. They're not new. Always had good deals on bullets. They're the ones that always had like the 69 grain version 1, 69 grain version 2, 69 grain version 3. They'd always have a bunch of different versions of all their bullets. I might be thinking of another place, but yeah, listen, I'm all for that. Affordable bullets and lots of versions of it, that's perfect. Any live shooting planned for Twitch was fun betting primers. Maybe at some point, like maybe this summer. Like this ain't the weather to be trying to drag a laptop out there and string a freaking Ethernet cable and all the godforsaken crap I was doing back then. But that was a ton of fun. Yeah, the single shots, you're cool with the PPC, but the single shot's freaking cool, yep. But I will say that the 6 PPC is also a single shot. Some of the tuner guys actually proved the Hornady boys that some of their assumptions were incorrect in statistically relevant numbers and not heard much in return. Interesting. Well, I know like at some like I need to go back and watch them again. Like I said, it's been a couple of years now, but Hornady was talking about continuing to test. All of their testing was in their cartridges, new modern cartridges with modern, with modern cartridge designs, and it was like a lot of the crap. Like, okay, do this with a 308 or something. Do this with something old, with a big old sloppy gross chamber and crappy old design SAMI specs and stuff, and see whether these changes are making statistically significant changes. Actually, I tell you what, this is 4 50 shot groups. I don't even remember which gun it was. I've got notes on all of it, but this was one gun, one powder and bullet combination where, like, one was a load that had shot really good for us, and one was a load that had shot really bad for us. Same thing over here. I think one of them was charge weight, and the other was overall length. I can't remember which was which. And I did all the calculations or something. And these crazy flyers that I got on this group ended up making this one, statistically significant difference, but there was no statistical significance in this one. Like, what I've got notes on it. I'll make a video at some point. The fight is 2 years old now, I'm sure, but like the kind of the basic theory of the thing, the conclusion of the thing is that we, especially those of us shooting standard rifles, off the shelf factory rifles, grandpa's old hunting rifle sort of reloaders, we are wasting most of our time with the goofy shit that we try and make our ammo shoot better. So I'll have to look out and see. It was right as I was totally losing interest in the hobby and all that was going on, and I was like, man, I don't even want to jump into it. Hornady also has a vested interest in selling their own loaded ammo. That's true, but like this was a 100% reloading discussion. Like I don't think any of it was just buy factory ammo. It's just as good. Like, yeah, I don't think they were trying to make that case. Hey, thanks, Thorzax. Yeah, I'm happy. Like any new channels, man, you're welcome. Steal my format, steal everything, steal anything you want. But yeah, we need more channels. Always have. More people reloading on YouTube would be good. Got off on my rant. Now I'm way behind on chat. Let me try and get caught up here real quick. Anyone else take part in the JRB live video editing? Yeah, it was that big 6-hour RCBS Rebel video that we edited live on Twitch. I don't remember why it was fun, but yeah, I remember that it was fun. The money and time spent on the backcountry would have been better spent on current component supply issues. It's kind of a tough business to be in, right? Like, if most of the company, like, they can sell everything they can make, they can't keep anything on the shelf, but yet they need to come up with new products all the time. It's kind of goofy. Learwood says, when shooting solid copper bullets, have to start with a super clean barrel, cleaned down, bare bore, no fouling. Yep, go watch my last video, the 6.5 Creedmoor video. That was kind of the main topic of that video. We shot everything off of, out of a stripped bore. Don't burn myself out. Yeah, I'll try not to. The problem is, like, if I can just get interested, you know, it's not really a burnout to put out videos pretty often. It actually helps keep me engaged. That's why, you know, even if live stream viewership dies out and it's, you know, me and 3 of you folks, like, I'll probably still have a live stream every week just to keep in contact, just to chat, just to answer, you know, the same old questions over and over again. Like, it's fun. It keeps me engaged.
Trek on 3 super chatted $100. Been watching your videos for years as well. I wouldn't have started reloading on my own without watching your reloading videos. I've got 5 tunners from Eric Cortina on all my builds. I will tell you the tuners work. No fight, Hornadis statement is busted.
Hey, Trek on 3, I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I know they did a video, and that was about the same time, wasn't it, about tuners? I don't know anything about tuners. I have nothing to say about tuners. And if that tied in with the reloading discussion, I need to go back and watch and see how it tied in, I guess. So if there was a fight about tuners, I want no part of that. I was just talking about the main thing with Hornady was they were talking about small sample size groups, you know, 3-shot groups, 5-shot groups, 10-shot groups are just they're not worthwhile. They prove very little. They can prove that a group is bad, right? You don't want to go out and just load 50 shots of everything and go try it, because sometimes it only takes 3 shots to realize that something's bad. So what's the methodology to get to, you know, starting with small round count groups, whether it's 3, 5, 10 or something like that. And then once you think you're onto something, what does it take to prove that you've got a good load? And I guess 5-shot groups aren't enough. 10-shot groups aren't enough. And I think they were, I think they said 20 or 25 shots is where things really start to smooth out. You start getting a better idea, but it's usually 50 shots before you can be 100% certain that you've got a true idea of how the gun is shooting. So it was more of that. If they had a similar discussion on tuners, like, yeah, that's for other channels to talk about, not me. I should try the 6x45 and 25-45 sharps the AR platform. I took my first deer with the 25-45 sharps last year and 6x45 this year. Pretty cool stuff. Patrick just got home from a bowling pin match. Good to see you, man. You'll go back to watch the RCBS Rebel Press video for the credits. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. We did a whole thing with credits. I'll have to go back and check that out myself. It was all jokes, right? We were all just coming up with stupid names and stuff. Any thoughts on Sabo? Like those crazy Sabos where you shoot 22 bullets in 30 caliber? I did a video on them. I don't really have any practical use for them. When will primer prices normalize? Dude, you're welcome to the new normal. Primers are $100 now. $80 or whatever the heck they are. Wanted to try 6x45. The cheap AR Stoner barrels are no more. Yeah, 6x45's been around forever, hadn't it? Like, wasn't that kind of one of the original alternative AR cartridges from way back in the day? Realistically, reducing extreme spread is the actual answer to bringing in groups when you find what the gun likes. You know, for long range, certainly. If you're doing 100 and 200 yard short range bench rest with a 6 PPC or whatever, probably not. But yeah, for all the long range guys, absolutely. And I think Hornady's other big thing was measuring extreme spread of groups was dumb, and they suggested mean radius, I think. It was like you needed to shoot at least 20 shot groups or 25 shot groups or whatever, and you needed to measure the group by mean radius instead of extreme spread or something. I need to go back and read that crap. Everything can make tiny changes. Bedding, floating, suppressors, tuners, neck turning, neck tension, etc. On. Yes. And like I would say, like muzzle devices, like I said, my guns have always shot better when I put a suppressor on them, almost exclusively.
God of Maine super chatted $5. Will you do a how to properly clean your gun video with ARs and bolt gun?
Hey, thanks for the, let me get back.
Master Mopar Man super chatted $10. Have you ever considered getting one of the various auto trickler or the short action customs / area 419 presses? Thanks for the videos, helped me get started.
Yeah, back to what I was saying, like the, bedding and floating and suppressors and tuners, absolutely. Absolutely. But the neck turning and the neck tension, that's the one where I don't know so much. I don't know that I buy it, but yeah. I'll do a video soon. I just need to catch up on kind of the way that discussion went and what other people had to say. Like somebody was saying, a lot of other people weighed in and stuff. I need to look into it. I'll do how to properly clean your gun video with ARs and bolt gun. The Hornady released one today or yesterday or something. Like, there's a new Hornady podcast episode where they literally clean a gun. And I wouldn't have anything to add to that. Like, they did a really good job. Have people been talking about gun cleaning a lot on YouTube, like gun tubers or something? Has there been some drama related to gun cleaning? Because I saw like Hornady has like 3 videos talking about cleaning, and then they just released this one. I haven't watched them yet, but the one that came out recently I did. And I had a couple comments on the last video where people were like, "Oh my God, you didn't use a bore scope. Oh, what are you doing? You don't know how to clean a gun." I'm like, dude, I did use a bore scope. I just didn't mention it in my video. Like, I mentioned some solvents that I used just because I wanted to read that Barnes thing and show that the clean your gun thingy was on there. But like, yeah, I had a couple comments that maybe I just read them wrong. You know, it's hard to get a person's tone on the internet sometimes, but they felt snarky. Like, bro, you don't know how to clean a gun. You need to watch this guy's video and that guy's video, and you need a bore scope, bitch. Like, man, I got 20 videos where we talk about bore scopes. Like, I've been shooting groups on YouTube a long time. Like, I know how to clean a gun. I didn't show every godforsaken detail. I'm sorry. But yeah, back to the question. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I could do a gun cleaning video, I guess, but I guess my question is this like a big topic of conversation in the gun community right now? Because it feels like there's a lot more people talking about how to clean a gun right now than I've ever seen in my life. So thank you. So Master Mopar Man, thank you for the super chat. Have I ever considered getting one of the various Auto Trickler or the Short Action Customs Area 419 presses? Thanks for the videos. Help me get started. Yes and no. Like, what I used to say on this topic was that I did not want to be doing videos kind of aimed, or at least that were friendly, that were beginner friendly, right? I wanted to make videos where a beginner could watch me and think, wow, I'd love to do that. I think I'll like to get into reloading, and then pull out my, $1,000 scale setup and Auto Trickler setup. I thought it was overkill for the vibe I was going for on my channel, right? It would be a vibe killer. I eventually ended up with a couple of, powder dispensers and stuff. So I guess I kind of abandoned that a little bit. But, a couple $100 for a powder dispenser seems a little less shocking than a lab scale and an auto trickling setup that kind of just seems, yeah. And that was another thing, back to what matters and what doesn't in reloading. I don't think I'm going to improve my groups by doing that. Like, I don't think an auto trickler, I don't think getting more precise with my charge weighing would shrink the size of my groups. I sincerely don't. So probably not. And kind of the same thing on the presses. Like the what was it, the Zero press? I can't remember if it was either Short Action Customs or Area 419. I guess whoever didn't make the Zero has come out with one now. Like, I'm sure they're awesome presses. I bet everybody, competitors and stuff are probably loving them, and God bless them. But I just, I don't want to use $1,000 press. I'd rather use a $300 kit and show people like, hey, we can shoot some pretty good groups loading with the Lee, or, loading with the RCBS, loading with the Hornady. I don't want people to feel like they're priced out of everything in my videos. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. Let me see if I can get... Don't forget, everyone has their favorite magic gun oil. Yeah, okay, so I need to... Let me see if you guys gave me any info on the cleaning drama that seems to be happening right now, because it's freaking me out, man. Actually, I should probably take a second and get a little sip of water here. Getting a little bit parched. Yeah, Patriot Paul brings up a good point. Thinks the 6-ARC is the best, most powerful long-range AR cartridge, but also works well close range for the door kickers. I think that might be it. Maybe it it has that balance. Are there very many people loading like 6-arc SB or building 6-arc SBRs and pistols and crap. CQB sort of setups for 6-arc. Oh, 6.5 by 47 was mainly used in F class. Interesting. ThinkBug came back for another click. How do you feel about the new low back pressure muffler trend? I wasn't aware of it. Like I said, I've been gone. I haven't really been paying attention to new products and stuff for 2 or 3 years. And for the last year, I was completely checked out. But I have a family member who just bought their first suppressor, and they were telling me about it. Like, yeah, it's some special low back pressure deal. I didn't even know that was a thing. So maybe I can see what they bought, try it out, see what the differences are. I can take one of my guns that's with a gas system that's tuned for one of my standard suppressors and try his and see if I notice any difference or something like that. Hey, what's up, West Desert Shooter? We were talking about you earlier. It was I watched your last video and your chronograph. I was trying to decide what brand your chronograph was. Somebody told me. I've already forgotten, but good to see you, man. What are my thoughts on using bushing sizing dies for 6-arc, swapping to a 22 cal bushing, using that as a dedicated sizing die for both? Only a few thousandths each side of the neck. Bushing sizing die for 6-arc, swapping to a 22 cal bushing and using that as a dedicated size. Okay, for a 22 arc. So using the same sizing die for a 22 arc and a 6-arc. I honestly don't know. Would there be? I'm trying to think of the geometry of the thing there. And whether you would end up with kind of like a false shoulder before you got to the real shoulder from the bushing. I don't know. It's kind of twisting my brain here. I don't know that would work. If like in my mind, I'm thinking that you'd end up with a little bit of a false shoulder where it transitioned from the bottom of where the bushing sized to and the shoulder of the die body. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully somebody else in the comments has, maybe they understand better what you're asking, can give you an answer. What's up, Travis? Good to see you, man. Selling foaming bore cleaners, so yes, they are advertising. Talking about Hornady or something? Yeah, I don't know. The Hornady podcast advertising doesn't bother me a bit. They're giving a crap ton of good information along with it. So, yeah, sell me your stuff. I already use your stuff. Okay, Jay Atkins says, yeah, Brian Litz did a big video and it started a fire. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Talking about cleaning guns reminds me of the video where Johnny used the grease gun to remove the stuck live round. That video still gets tons of views and comments all the time. It's probably my most viewed video. I'm not certain, but probably.
Charles O'Neill super chatted $9.99. If you used a zero press you would have like a Ultimate Reloader a goods channel, but it doesn't feel like he relates to a working man like me.
Gun cleaning options are like Ford versus Chevy. Yep. Hootie Who says he never cleans his guns. I think that fad's probably about dead. Like, you need to clean your gun every once in a while, man. Especially, like, I've always, shoot a lot suppressed. Like, if you shoot a bunch suppressed, good luck not cleaning. Like, you got to clean. What's a bore scope? Just a little camera that you can put down your bore so you can see whether your bore is actually clean or not. You can look for little specks of carbon and streaks of copper and all that stuff and see how effective your cleaning could be. People online don't like seeing old videos. I guess that's why it's good to upload a new one. Sometimes new products come out, and I guess people want to know if it makes a difference. Yeah, a lot of truth in that. IMR 4064 is discontinued. That's crazy. I do not believe that, James Newman. Sir, I think you're lying to me. I'm not going to believe that. That cannot be true. No way. They have got to sell a ton of IMR 4064. I can't imagine that would be true. Please tell me that's not true. Somebody. I actually don't have a ton of IMR 4064 in stock, and if it's gone, I am going to literally shed tears. Don't forget, everyone has their favorite magic gun oil. A lot of the cleaning topics have popped up more from the PRS side, Eric Cortina, Speedy, etc. Brian Litz put out a video a few months ago too. Okay. All right. That explains a little bit then. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. It's on people's minds. They watched a video, so they know what it takes, bro. Intergalactic champion uses this solvent, bro. You don't even have a bore scope, bro. Gabba's fell in love with the Hornady Aero Match bullets. I'm going to have to try them. I'm hearing about them. Every live stream, somebody's bringing them up, so we're definitely going to try them. All right, I'm getting lost in the sauce here, trying to find... trying to find more cleaning comments to see, but I think I get where that's all coming from, and that's fine, Good luck. Got to keep my head down, stay out of the bull crap, ignore the. I get annoyed with comments a lot, right? Every video you can go down, I'm being mean to somebody. They probably don't deserve it. I probably misread the tone of their comments, but I guess that's just me, right? I need to be myself, and being me is being a complete butthead to some people in my comment section. I don't know. Maybe it scares off one or two buttheads, real buttheads every once in a while. I don't know. Yeah, Robert says my channel approach hooked me back in. It's daunting to see everyone using equipment that's cost prohibitive. Exactly. I don't want people to feel like this has to be something that costs $10,000 and takes over your life. It can be simple. Nobody does it that way. And you're fooling yourself if you get into it thinking that's the way you're going to do it. You're going to end up spending all that money. But at least to get them in the door, we need to pretend like it's affordable. More precision in powder charge and seating depth never hurts the groups, but does it ever help them? Been a long time assumption that it does help. And I'm not so sure that it does. What am I using for deer season this coming year? I want to use some copper bullets. That's the plan. That's kind of the video series I've started on the channel, is learning how to shoot better groups with copper. And then once we get to a point where we feel more comfortable with copper, maybe we've had some success with copper, then narrowing it down to exactly what bullet I want to shoot. It might be in the 6 arc, it might be in the 6.5 Grendel, it might be in 6.5 Creedmoor, it might be in 308, it might be in 300 Win Mag. I don't know yet exactly what I'm going to hunt with. Got a lot of options, but it's not going to be a 7mm backcountry. That's really all I can tell you at this point. Randall's been happy with the Lyman Gen 6 powder drop. Did the buzzer kill mod because you'll want to throw it out a window. I want to buy the generic Amazon one to test and possibly have 2 running. I didn't know there was a generic Amazon powder dispenser. You've got my attention, sir. Really? I'll have to buy that. I'm all about cheap Amazon scales. But yeah, I've got a Lyman Gen 6 as well. And it always worked pretty good for me. The only problem, I wouldn't even call it a problem. The only touchy thing about it is there were those replaceable like gasket inserts or whatever, the rubber inserts around the feed tube that like you had to have it aligned just right, or sometimes it wouldn't get bound up, but it wouldn't run as smoothly or something. I don't know. It's been a little while since I've used it. I've still got it. I'll have to pull it out for a future video. Make sure it's still in good working order because it was good. Sub half MOA is easily achievable with a Charge Master and a basic press. Outside of true bench rest, most can't shoot tight enough to see any difference using new presses and dispensers. Exactly. I would go, same thing with dies. You don't need the, $8 million set of dies. The $39.99 RCBS kit will do a great job. Like, I think most of the worthwhile upgrades make life easier, right? Like, I bought a seating die because it's easier to adjust. It has a micrometer adjustment. That's money well spent, I think. Money very well spent. But buying a seating die because you think your groups are going to get tighter, probably not going to happen. Did I ever get into, Robbie's Reloading Room says, hey Johnny, did you ever get into case neck turning? Yes. So like the 6 PPC, the chamber in that gun requires neck turning. So I've done some neck turning for that. And I've also done I've done neck turning in a bunch of other stuff, but I don't anymore. And I don't ever plan to do it again. Like modern brass is so good that it's obsolete now. It's not something to worry about, in my opinion. You're not going to shrink your groups by neck turning your standard brass. That crap used to be almost mandatory because you were buying, all you had available was super crappy Winchester brass, and the flash holes were all gnarly and you needed to deburr those flash holes, and the thickness on the necks were all over the place, and you really needed to straighten them out and get them even. And it's like those days are over. You know, you buy even like Hornady brass or you buy Starline brass. You don't need to do all that crap to that stuff. You just load it up and shoot good groups. So yeah, neck turning is it's absolutely required for a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of match chambers and whatnot, and certain cartridges, and you know, if you're forming brass for a Wildcat or something, like, yeah, there's reasons to neck turn, but just like neck turning your, you know, my Lake City 223 brass, never, ever am I going to be doing that sort of junk. I don't think it helps. Which turret press do I prefer, the T7 or the Lyman 8 station? I tried them both. They were both pretty good. I think the the Lyman gives you one more hole. It's cheaper. The T7's build quality maybe a little bit better, you know, like it's more expensive. So, yeah. I gave away the Lyman and I kept the T7. But really only because it was the more expensive one. That seems like a dumb reason now that I think about it. It would be cheaper to replace the Lyman if I missed it. I guess maybe would be a better way to put that. Makes me sound like less of a douche. Yep, Chris is using his RCBS Junior 2 from 1975. Solid press is all that's required. Don't go into bankruptcy over a press. What's up, Ryan? Ryan made it. Glad to have you. People building 12.5 or 14.5 6mm arc is a thing. It's a bit comical. I figured those psychos were out there. All right, I'm about 45 minutes behind on chat. I'm trying to get caught up. I was trying to make sure I caught all the ones talking about the cleaning, but I think I got the vibe. A couple videos I need to watch, I guess. Here's Buick Special. I think the cleaning drama is due to the push and popularity of solid copper. Before them, fouling was considered okay for accuracy. Yeah, I think it's like they were saying. Some of the match guys, competition dudes, have got everybody riled up. Like, Alan says he likes the newish 6.5 90 grain copper bullet in the Grendel. Yeah, there's a Hornady CX, I guess, that's a 90 that they're loading factory ammo with. I want to try that as well, because I'm sure, you know, you'd get tons of velocity and actually get some range and hopefully get some acceptable bullet expansion out of that light of a setup. You know, that's hard to do in the Grendel with 120s, 123 grain bullets, especially copper. Duke's getting advertisements about every 10 to 15. I'm sorry about that. I meant to turn that off. We're just about done, but let me see if I can find where to turn it off. Game settings. Yeah, the same thing happened in my last live stream. Ended up can't find I can't find where I'm sorry about that. I'll try to remember. I'll try not to have ads. I don't want ads running while it's live, you know. People watching the replay can watch an ad or two, that's fine, but I'd rather they not run when the thing is live. So I apologize for that. Have I looked into the new Athlon chrono? Yeah, some people were talking about it earlier. Sounds like that might be the way I should go. Michael says, tough overtime loss for the Jackets tonight. That's too bad. I haven't been following them too much this year or last year. I kind of just got fed up. It's tough to follow a loser for 15 years. Especially when you don't live in the city anymore, and you don't kind of have that normal media flow of information about the team. You got to go out there and look for it, and it's like I just lost motivation. Firearms Fuel and Fabrication says he has flow-through cans, and they are loud, and honestly, only benefit I've seen is not getting gassed out on a machine gun. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to try his can sometime and see if I can notice. Hey Charles, I'm sorry, I'm just now getting to your super chat. If I used a zero press, you would have liked Ultimate Reloader, a goods channel, but it doesn't feel like he relates to the. Oh, okay. Yeah, just want trying to stay relatable if I can. I appreciate the super chat. Love to see some 350 Legend. That was one, like I was considering getting into the 350 Legend. I'm close enough to Ohio. I hunt in Ohio sometimes. So, I can make up a reason to want to do it. Okay, reloading fun. Back to West Desert Shooter's question. Shouldn't be an issue using a 6 arc die with the appropriate bushing. Do that with 6 BR to 22 BR and 223 to 20 practical. Gotcha. Perfect. All right, I think I'm caught off. $150 for the knockoff Amazon powder dispenser. How much is the Lyman Gen 6 now? I'll have to go out and see how much, if the price is looking really good, I'll get one just to try it. Broke is hopping in way late. Glad to see you're still kicking and uploading. Glad you made it, man. Chasing solid copper tight groups is akin to smelling unicorn farts. Maybe it is. I want to prove that to myself, though.
Master Mopar Man super chatted $5. You should check out the Derrico PCPS primer. It's basically a poor man's primal CPS.
Loading Fun says no. Brian Litz and Hornady just know what it really takes to get a barrel actually clean and want to inform everyone. Yeah, just a lot of talk about cleaning. I'm down for it. Like there were too many years where everybody was doing the I don't clean my guns, bro. I don't think that's the way to go either, but it seems to have overcorrected in the opposite direction, man. Now everybody's going to accuse me of shooting a dirty gun in every video. Bro, did you use your bore scope this time? I promise I know how to clean my guns. Promise. The Amazon one looks exactly like your Lyman. All right, I think I mainly got it. What was that super chat? I'm sorry. Master Mopar Man, I should check out the Derrico PCPS primer. It's basically a poor man's primal CPS. Dude, I don't even know what that means. I don't know what a primal CPS is. And Definitely don't know what the Derico PCPS primer is. Like, are you talking about primers? Like cartridge primers? Or is this some... Like, I'll probably just stick with CCI 450s. I don't know what we're talking about here. But I'm sorry. I'm out of touch, brother. Appreciate the super chat, though. How's my 6-arc been treating me? Been picking up some steam in the last couple years. I just literally haven't been shooting for the last couple years. So every round I've fired through that gun has been on a video. So however long it's been since my last 6-arc video, that was the last time I shot the gun. So it's been a long time. Oh, there's a 400 Legend now. So 350 Legend is the old stuff and 400 is the new hotness. Hard time finding a good bullet for 350 Legend for hunting. Interesting. When will there be testing with the 300 black ammunition with 230 grain? You know, I've actually got, I think I had some harebrained video. Oh, I think it was back whenever I was going to do my large sample size testing. I've got like 400 of the 230 grain A-tips. And I want to shoot some in 300 blackout just for the fun of it. Just to make like really, really expensive 300 blackout subsonics and waste some really nice bullets in the dumbest way possible. So look out for that video. Not super duper soon, but you know, within the next couple months, I'll be doing some 230 grain A-tip 300 blackout stuff. Maybe we'll try and make the most expensive 300 blackout hand load we can possibly make. See if somebody came down and explained what the PCPPFS primer is. Hey Tyler, good to see you. Thanks for stopping through. Lyman Gen 6 is about 250 to 260. Okay, so it's a good bit cheaper. I'll have to check it out, man. Actually, hang on one second. Well, no, I'll check it out later. It's a primer tool. Oh, okay. All right. Primer writes competition primer seeder. Gotcha. So now I've got to find out a way to come up with a test to prove primer seeding depth makes a difference on paper in my backyard at 100 yards. You know, that's kind of how I've always felt about a lot of the kind of advanced priming tools. Like, I'll probably just stick with the good old-fashioned RCBS Universal and jam them in there till it feels about right. That's good enough for me. I'm going to be honest with you. Micrometer adjustment, primer depth. I think that's getting into the... Like, you want me to get burned out, that's it. Because chasing my tail, trying to... neck turning my 300 blackout and concerning myself with primer seeding depth, like that's the stuff where it's just, it drives you crazy. None of it matters. None of it improves your groups. None of it, results in repeatable improvements downrange. And you just spend a bunch of money to drive yourself crazy. I'm sure it's an awesome primer seeder though. I bet it kicks ass. I bet you can dial that biatch in right where you want it. I just, just feeling it in with the RCBS Universal has been working for me. So, just, okay, it's $650 Primal CPS. Isn't that the $650 priming tool? Yeah, definitely going to be skipping that one, man. That's for the Zero Press guys. And that's for those guys, not for me. Yeah, crazy expensive. Hey, Tex Prof. Good to see you, man. Glad you were able to make it. Better late than never, like Big E says, definitely. Patriot Paul likes his RCBS benchtop primer. You know, I like that that Lee bench primer. Even that stupid little thing is great. Staying back loves silly 300 blackout. Man, there's nothing more fun than some silly 300 blackout. Let's try something stupid. Let's do some dumb stuff. That's shooting at its most fun. Not worrying about your micrometer primer heater. Using crazy expensive bullets in a cartridge that was meant to be cheap is one of the reasons we like your channel. See, that's what it's all about. Because I don't really have a good reason to have those bullets. Like, I don't shoot enough 300 Win Mag. I don't have the desire to shoot enough 300 Win Mag to get through all those bullets. So let's have some fun with them. What are my thoughts on 6.5 Creedmoor on deer? One of the best deer hunting cartridges on the planet. It's going to be around for the rest of our lives. I'll throw pronghorn in there as well. Could definitely do worse. Lots of great bullets. Lots of factory ammo options. Lots of good stuff. The only thing you got to worry about is the people who hate 6.5 Creedmoor. They'll be like, whoa, bro, nice 6.5 Creedmoor. Why'd you buy that? Like, I don't know. Is it a good deer cartridge? They'll be like, what? I don't know. I don't even know how to act like the 6.5 needs more douchebag. That guy, I don't know. There was one of those in the comments section of the last video as well. It's like, dude, you're complaining about 6.5 Creedmoor. Nobody has been, 10 years ago, it was annoying as hell. Everybody loved the Creedmoor. Everybody was like, dude, it's the best gun for 3 miles shooting. And, people were talking out of their ass about the 6.5 Creedmoor 10 years ago. That's all over with. There's other hipster cartridges that they've moved on to, the 7mm Backcountry. That whole crowd has moved on. So what's left now is the people who actually appreciate the 6.5 Creedmoor for what it is. And what it is a really good deer cartridge. Moderate recoil. Your wife can shoot it. Your kid can shoot it. Everybody can shoot it. It kills really well. There's tons of bullets. There's tons of ammo. The chambers are made really good. So the odds, if you buy an inexpensive rifle, it's probably going to shoot good. If you buy an inexpensive 308, it's probably going to shoot like crap, in my experience. So there's a lot of great things about 6.5 Creedmoor. There's just still some jackasses left out there that'll give you a hard time about your cartridge. Hopefully that answered your question. What did I do in my USMC days? I fixed radios. Lee Ram Prime. Good, the old round one. Yep. Right on top of the press. I mean, it was a pain in the butt. You had to put the primers in one at a time and all that junk. But I bet that $700,000 micrometer cedar, probably you got to put them in one at a time as well. I'm guessing. Maybe it's got a feeder, but I think I've got a micrometer. Like one of my grandpa's, he was a bench rest guy. He's got some of the goofy stuff. And I bet I could probably find a micrometer cedar somewhere in my piles of crap. Lee Bench Prime is your go-to. Yep, that's the one. Had a little bit of feeding issues with mine, but It was good. Like it's like when you put the handle down to prime, you had to like let it go and let it slap up. You couldn't like, bring it up manually or anything, or the next one wouldn't feed. Like it needs a little jolt to keep the primers going. If I was to do pigs and chickens again, what would I do differently? I don't know. Well, with pigs, I actually slaughtered the pigs myself, butchered them myself. I'm never doing that again. I'm definitely taking them to a slaughterhouse if I ever raise pigs again. That was more like, I don't know, rite of passage sort of toxic masculinity, maybe. I don't know. I wanted to do them myself the first time, kind of go through the good and the bad there. Did not have the facilities to do it. It was a lot. It was a lot going on. So, but chickens, like, I don't know, it's hard to screw up chickens. I did have predator issues. So my next batch, I'm thinking about maybe just keeping them in their coop. I've got a nice big run on my coop. So maybe in my next batch, I won't let them out. Because my first batch, they were always out. They were out all day, every day. And later when I ran into predator problems and needed to coop them up, they were miserable, man. They sat out there squawking and screaming all day long, wanting out. And it got pretty annoying. And then eventually I let them out and they all ended up getting eaten by predators. So, you live by the gun, you die by the gun sort of thing. Frankfurt Arsenal's IntelliDropper is only $20 more on Amazon. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would trust Frankfurt Arsenal a little bit more than I would trust, random brand on Amazon. Getting way behind. All right. Yeah, I've done a lot of ranting here in the last 20 minutes or so. Which is fun, like I'm that's fun. Let me get another drink. Like I'm parched. After all that ranting, I'm a little bit parched. Any interest in trying any cutting edge 300 blackout stuff? Yeah, maybe at some point. I bought these 65 grain cutting edge for 22 caliber. I haven't shot them yet, obviously. They're pretty fancy. They come in their little individually packaged sort of deal. We'll see how they do. Early on in my channel, a lot of the focus was 300 blackout, and a good portion of that was hunting with 300 blackout, supers and subs. So it kind of feels like, a path we've already been down, but it was almost 10 years ago now. Like I can make some 300 blackout hunting content videos, and nobody's going to complain too loud. Well, they're going to complain, but like I won't care. Wildcat just got a 6 arc. Very popular these days, seems like. And for good reason. It's a great cartridge. Jesse wants me to load the 230 tips with black powder. Got some good old Go X3F here. We could give it a shot. We will not be giving that a shot, by the way. That was a joke. Yeah, you have to realize when people are just in a money spinning contest versus somebody trying to load good rounds. A lot of truth there. You know, this is a rich man's hobby. Be honest. Gun collecting in general, everything about guns, pricey stuff. Any Western hunts or maybe Texas hunts I want to go on? I should. I don't. No, I don't have anything planned. I don't really have anything on my wish list right now. But I should. See, but my problem is I really enjoy bow hunting more than gun hunting. But me making bow hunting videos would be kind of dumb if I wanted to make the trip into videos and stuff. So it's hard for me to get too pumped up about gun hunting trips. And it shouldn't be, right? I should be able to get excited. You know, somebody was talking about the last live stream. What are the stupid pigs down in like New Mexico and Arizona? The stupid little pigs. Javelina. I want to go shoot some javelina. I don't know why. Sounds like fun. Or pronghorn. Go on a pronghorn / javelina hunt. Their range overlap. That's where I need to go hunting, I guess. Do you think the 6.5 Creedmoor, for as good as it is a little overhyped in the sense that people think it is magic pill for killing? 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Not anymore. Not anymore. There's more than enough content out there for people to understand what a 6.5 Creedmoor actually is, I think. Just my opinion. Right, it's a marginal elk cartridge. I wouldn't want to hunt bear with it. Moose, don't even think about it unless you're really advanced. You know what you're doing. You got a specific bullet in mind, sort of like, yeah, it's a deer. Deer and pronghorn. I think it's good for all those. For reasonable hunting distances. Which that's the other problem, is reasonable hunting distance is getting a little bit freaking ridiculous. Everybody thinks they're cooler the farther away they shoot crap, which is pretty lame. Getting that way in archery too. Like all these jackwagons, 70, 80 yard shots on elk. Just get closer. That's, you know what's fun about hunting is getting close. Just get closer. XUND was a radio guy in the Navy. Good times, good subject. Good it was fun. Definitely fun. Fun topic to get into. Priming can become a science. The way a primer sets in new brass is different than it sets in 5 times plus brass. I don't doubt it, but I can tell you there's no way in hell I could go out in my backyard and prove that on paper on a video. If there's a difference, it's not something that matters to me. People shooting, 13-mile bench rest or whatever, 6,300 yard bench rest, those guys, like that's their deal. And I guess the problems come in when the 45,000 yard bench resters try to imply that what's important to them is important to us as hunters, hobbyists, short range people, or just general jackasses. Gets people's heads all twisted. Yeah, Ram Prime's also good for like people with arthritis and stuff. Yeah, definitely. What's the best powder for 300 blackout? I ask. Well, subs or supers? That's the question. Supers, I would say Winchester 296, Hodgson H110, same thing. Always been a good super powder for me. For subs, it really depends. Like how picky is your gas system? If you've got a gas system that does not like to cycle with subs, use Accurate 1680 is really good. It'll cycle any gun, but it's a little bit loud, there's a lot of gas going on there. Same thing with what was the blackout, Hodgson's blackout powder, the same sort of stuff. Heard really good things about Vitavori N120. I've shot a little bit of it, haven't shot a ton. Yeah, with subs it gets a little bit more complicated because you need to really think about your gas system, whether you're pistol length or mid length, or the answer changes depending on that. Hunting at 1,000 yards is stupid. Yeah, like what's the bullet flight time at 1,000 yards on average? If you're shooting, 3,000 feet per second. It depends on your BC and a million other factors. Like most animals could do a full 360-degree turn before the bullet got there. That's not ethical, in my opinion. What's also fun is not having to track for hours. That's true. No such thing as overkill on cartridge unless you're losing. Right, and I'm a huge hypocrite here. Like, let me be very, very clear. My idea of ethical hunting and stuff, like, there are lots of people who could call me unethical. I shot a deer with subsonic 300 blackout. That's plain old silly. I bow hunt in general. Like, people could say, like, what are you doing? That's crazy. You're slinging sticks at deer. All right, that's not that many people are out there making that argument, but I hunt with 223. I used to use like the 65 grain Game King, killed a couple deer with that bullet, and now like the 75 grain Spear Gold Dot, taking some deer with that. I have bigger guns. Why aren't I using the bigger gun? Why am I going into the woods with a marginal cartridge? Right? I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. I've wounded my share of deer. I've been hunting a long time. I've made bad shots. I've done dumb stuff. And I'm not perfect. Just want to throw that out there. One and a half seconds, about a second, about 1.2 seconds. Yeah. A lot can happen in a second. Animal can move a long way in a second. Yeah, 50 BMG hunting only, by God. If I had to start over and pick between 6.5 Grindle and 6 Arc today, which do you think you'd choose? I think I would choose the Arc. Simply because the 6.5 Grendel, it's a range thing, right? Like, it barely has enough velocity to expand a lot of the hunting bullets on the market. So I think the additional velocity from the 6 Arc and what that gives you as far as bullet expansion at short ranges and, increased distance with acceptable terminal performance, it makes me lean towards the Arc. However, I have 50 times more experience with the Grendel than I do with the Arc. So I need to get to know the Arc better. Like, all indications are that it's great. They're very similar cartridges. I think I'm going to love it, but I'm leaving the door open to hate it in the future. Because I like the Grendel. I love the Grendel. The Grendel's great. It's fun to reload for. More bullets are coming on the market. We've mentioned like the Hornady's loading the 90 grain CX in their factory ammo. I want to try that bullet. The velocities on that should be crazy high. More than enough to expand. But that's a 90 grain bullet. There's also a 90 grain CX for the 6mm, isn't there? There's an 80 and a 90, if I'm not mistaken. So we're basically shooting a 6mm weight in the 6.5 to try and get enough velocity to make it effective, to make it more effective. Have I used Superformance? Yes. A little bit. I need to buy some. I've got, I need to buy another can of it. Because the one I've got is just about empty. I don't really have enough for any additional testing. And I think I hate it when that happens, when I've got like just enough in a can where it's like, I probably shouldn't buy another one yet. But there's not really enough to do any testing or whatever. Because even if you find a good load, you're out of powder now. I need to get some more of it. Some pretty crazy velocities out of that powder, if I'm not mistaken. At 400 yards, the time of flight is enough to cause issues? I guess it could be. It's on camera. Yeah, the long shot or the the Superformance. Yeah, if you search my channel for Superformance, something should pop up. I don't even remember it was probably the Creedmoor, maybe. I can't remember for sure. Yeah, BFD Adventures. Steel plates don't move, and people get that confidence on steel plates and start shooting at live stuff. You want to be a sniper, bro? Wins a 45-70. Not super soon. How about a 32-40? That close enough? We'd have a 32-40 video before too long. Performance in 7.62 by 39? Really? Seems like it would be crazy slow for that application. It was for the 6 Arc. Really? Hang on, am I losing my mind? Is there another Superformance powder that's slower? Maybe I'm getting my powders confused. Hang on one second. Let me go see what the heck. Talking about. You know what? Yeah, I don't think I have that bottle anymore. Maybe I did finish off. Yeah, you're thinking of Lever Evolution. Exactly. Yeah, Lever Evolution would be an Arc and Grendel type of powder. Try CFV Black for 762 by 39. Yeah, there you go. That's the powder I was trying to remember a little bit ago when we were talking 300 Blackout. $32.40 is acceptable. Okay, keep your eyes open. Do I have any plans for 8.6 Blackout? Nope. The bullets are too expensive. Same thing with the Arc, 338 Arc. People kill whitetail with 223 every year with no problem. It's all about shot placement. That's true. That's very true. However, it's also true that, a lot of states it's illegal. They won't even let you hunt with 223. So check your local regulations. Two Performance more of a 22-250 to 300 PRC range of powder. That's what I was thinking. Kind of like a slow powder for the... Because it all comes down to Hornady factory ammo, right? Don't they have a whole line of Super Performance factory ammo where, like 30-06 and stuff, they get 300 or 400 more feet per second than the standard velocities for the cartridge, and some other the old school stuff. Get some extra velocity out of some of the old school cartridges of that size. If I cast 338, it's cheap. That's true, but the problem is I could never get cast bullets to work very well in 300 Blackout. So that's what I'll do. I will do 338 Blackout, or whatever the hell it's called, if I can figure out lead cast bullets in 300 Blackout. Maybe we'll play around with that sometime. More 6 PPC, please. Yep, that's coming soon. I wanna pull it out, shoot some little groups if we can. Probably when it gets a little bit warmer. That's a nice spring day, right? Weather a little bit warm. Got the short sleeves out there. The sun's beating down. Shooting tiny groups with a 6 PPC. We'll make a video out of that. Griff says he's listening to the Meat Eater podcast. They had a guy that lived in the Alaska bush and used 243 to shoot everything. Shot placement's everything, man. Not mad about Grendel, though. Can load it for 39 cents a shot. Yeah, and I was kind of forced against my will to say some bad things about Grendel there for a few seconds, but I love the Grendel. I definitely love the Grendel. Just a lot of overlap. There's not that many people that need to have a Grendel and an Arc, a 6 Arc. It's a choice, and it's really hard to guide people on that choice. Especially in the 6.5 direction, because, all of the reasons I mentioned before. I still love the Grendel. We'll find some good bullets for it. Turn it into a deer hunting machine. Yep, cat's still roaming around. He was actually outside. I should go let him back in. He's probably mad. That's fine. He's been stuck in the house, all this snow we've had and everything. He hadn't had a chance to get out and run around a little bit, so. Have I seen the 6 Max? Nope. I haven't seen that one. Grendel, to be honest, is part of the Arc family, a cousin, I guess. Well, I would say that the Arc and the Grendel are part of the PPC family. And some other folks on here are probably going to say, well, the PPC and the Arc and the Grendel are part of the 762 by 39 family. And then somebody will say, it's like, I forget what the actual parent case is. But yeah, they, they have a lot in common. And like all the way across the board, especially, you know, if you, like the 6 PPC and its derivatives, good shooting cartridges, man. Very, very good shooting. Oh, the 8.6 blackout is 1 in 3 twist rate is too fast for cast, but 338 arc, 1 in 8 twist. Okay. So yeah, definitely not interested in the 8.6 blackout then. Is that who was the guy who made all those freaking 300 blackouts with the crazy twist? Yeah, I don't know. That one company, is that who made that 8.6 blackout? Crap, what was the name of that company? Hornady sponsored the Grendel Sammy application? No. It was, let's see, Anderson Arms, I think. Q, yeah, Q. So is Q the one behind the 338 blackout with their crazy 1 in 3 twist? I'm just kind of really not interested. Just make sure you have a good bolt in the arc. The 6 arc. See that, like, that's what everybody says. And like I'm certain it's true. You know, my favorite barrel company, right? White Oak Armament, refuses to load anything in that Grendel bolt face, in that bolt face, because of bolt issues, bolt weaknesses. You know, their entire company is built around making the best uppers for competition, and they just don't trust them, you know, when it matters at a competition. And I respect that, and I get that. However, I haven't had any bolt issues, and I have loaded the piss out of 6.5 Grendel. Like, stupid, crazy, overpressure. Can't believe I ever loaded crap that high, trying to get every bit of velocity out of it, sort of stuff, and never had any bolt problems. And at the time, you know, when I was keeping up with 6.5 Grendel and what was going on the discussion forums and all of that, bolt breakages were exceedingly rare. Like, nobody breaking bolts. So, you know, it's something to have in your mind, I guess, but there's no reason to have a spare bolt laying around, right? Your bolt's going to be fine. Particularly if you load the 52,000 PSI. Yeah, you're going to be fine. But I get it. Like, I get it. If I was going on some backcountry hunt, like they're asking if I was going to go out west and hunt and hike into the wilderness for 10 days looking for a freaking Yeti or whatever, it might cross my mind. Like, maybe I shouldn't take the Grendel. What if the bolt decided that this was the time it was going to break? But for 99 out of 100 situations, you're fine.
Mike McAllister super chatted $20. Mama JRB always had a way of explaining things so I could understand them. Forrest Gump.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that very much. It's like the Grendel Type 2 bolt now. Oh, God, don't even get me started. So there's the Type 1 and the Type 2, but then there's also the Grendel 2, which is a different 2. But the basics of it are there's a 7.62x39 bolt, and then there's a Grendel bolt. And, you know, the arcs will use the Grendel bolt. So there were some Grendels made that used the 7.62x39. And I think that was the Type 1. And then the Grendel 2 was a Wildcat cartridge because some people didn't like the compound throat of the original Grendel. So, like, my first barrel was a Type 2 Grendel 2, or it was a Grendel 2 chambered for a Type 2 bolt. So it was a Type 2 Grendel 2. All of that confusion was a big hindrance to adoption of the Grendel. It was a mess. People started jacking with the chamber, and it jacked everything all up. And it was, yeah, I'm happy to have a Sammy chambered Grendel now. I'm glad most places seem to be selling Sammy chambered Grendels. But back when I was getting into it, that Grendel 2 crap was everywhere, and it was so confusing, especially for somebody trying to figure out what was what, figure out how, what to buy and what bolt do I need, and what a mess. Yeah, Isaac, I agree. The 300 black made sense because tons of people had 5.56 and 308 guns, so using the 5.56 brass and 308 bullets is a reloader's dream, just based on convenience and availability. That was a big thing for me. Like, it was my first alternative cartridge in the AR platform that I bought, and it was because I shoot a whole bunch of other crap in 30 caliber. I've got bullets. This can use those bullets. Let's give it a shot. Turned a Grendel case into a belted case and haven't had bolt issues. Don't recommend doing the same. Yeah, like, man, I did some dumb stuff, popping primers and destroying brass and all of that stuff. It's a miracle I haven't cracked a bolt. Type 1, aka 264 LBC. Yeah, that was another thing that was a big thing. Is right. Well, anytime a cartridge comes out that's been wildcatted for a long time, there's like all of the old wildcatters are going to be super butthurt that their exact version of the thing isn't what got Sammied. And I think that's probably what caused a lot of the Grendel crap. It's just there were a bunch of wildcats that were basically the same as the Grendel, but a little bit different, and all the people that loved those were super butthurt that their version didn't get Sammy approved, didn't get chosen to be the Sammy approved version. Gun people suck sometimes, man. Recently rewatched a video where I said 300 AAC was a fad. Made you chuckle? Something like by the time I got into 300 Blackout, it had been around a really long time. That must have been a pretty wild context for me to say that. Or I was just dumb, like I've said a lot of dumb things and ignorant. Like that's really the essence of my YouTube channel, is just sharing, and like wallowing is the wrong word. It's more like enjoying my own ignorance. Learned a lot over the years. Said a lot of dumb things whenever I was just speaking from pure ignorance. That's what learning's all about. Hey, Sneak, good to see you, man. First load's a 77 grain Barnes hollow point boat tail with 23 grains, and hope my rifle is okay after. Good luck. It's always nerve-wracking shooting those first reloads. Hey, take it easy, Basset Hound. Yeah, I'm done. It's about time to wrap this up. How long have we been? Yeah, we've been going 3 hours. 3 hours is too long. We need to trim these down to 2 hours. It needs to be 2 hours. Get the heck off of here. Don't drag it out. Most gun guys are gearheads. Is JRB a car guy? I'm guessing you go for a good old reliable, have a 200,000 mile 06 Chevy pickup. Not really. I have a little piece of crap crossover car right now. But I used to be into cars. I was into turbo Mitsubishis. So, like shortly after I was in the military, I bought, just by chance, I bought a Plymouth Laser, which was the same thing as a Mitsubishi Eclipse. It was a little front wheel drive turbo. Dude, that thing screamed. It absolutely hauled ass. I didn't even know what I was buying. And that got me really, really interested in that. So I ended up buying another one of the same car. It was a piece of crap. The first one I had was a piece of crap. And then I bought like that was a 91 Plymouth Laser. Then I bought a 94 Eagle Talon, all-wheel drive, and started modifying it. So I had that for a while. Blew a couple transfer cases, couple transmissions. It was hard to keep those things going. And then later, so 2003 is when the Mitsubishi Evo, the Lancer Evolution, was brought to the United States. I waited a couple years until they figured out the problems, and then I bought a 2005 Evo 8. And that was the last cool car I had. Man, I spent way too much money on that car. I bought it brand new, so the car was already expensive, and then trying to afford modifications on it and stuff. Yeah, I sunk too much money in that car. Kind of lost my appetite for that. Got rid of it, but man, I'd love to have one. I'd love to have another one. Yeah, the 3000 GT. The 3000 GT was a bit of a turd. Like the twin turbos were pretty cool, but they were so heavy, and the DSMs, the 4 cylinders, the Eclipses and stuff were really the better platform to modify. But there were some pretty cool 3000 GTs, but they were no Supra, like they were no, 2 JZ GTE motors that those Supras had in them were amazing. And I just don't think the 3000 GT ever quite had the fan base that the DSMs had. Yeah, Dustin. Man, like if you remember, there was an old, back early days of the internet, man, we had the DSM mailing list, this gigantic email that would get sent out once a week. Like you could send in questions or you could answer questions and stuff. And man, that was good times. It was really good times. Evo 8's a cool car for sure. I would love to have another 2005 again. Because the Evo 9 was pretty cool, but the Evo 10, like, I don't know. They made, I was kind of out of it by then. I didn't really track everything, but I think they changed motors, and it was still pretty cool, but it wasn't quite what the 8s and 9s were. Yeah, your VR4 was pretty fun car though. Yes, absolutely. Like I'm not taking it away. Like the 3000 GT VR4s were badass. They definitely were. But, I think it took a lot to get them going fast. Is the best way I could say it maybe. Didn't peg me as a Mitsubishi guy. Like I never would have been. It was just I was looking for a cheap car, and like my brother's buddy had this old Plymouth Laser, and I bought it for like $500 in 1998, something like that. And that was awesome. Fun to play with. Awesome little motors, man. Absolutely awesome. So, all right, I think it's time to wrap this up, folks. We're rambling about cars. I think it's time to call it a night. It was fun hanging out. I'm sorry to anybody I was mean to. I'm mean sometimes. I apologize for that. I probably won't stop. I'll keep being mean, but I'll keep apologizing. So I hope that makes up for a little bit of it. Sorry for all the missed questions. I'm always going to miss a lot more questions than I catch. That comes from, the early days of the live streams, trying to read every comment. I would literally be an hour behind, and everybody would just be laughing at, like, he doesn't even know what we're talking about now. What is this? So I try and keep up with the flow, and it's hard, and I miss stuff, and it just is what it is. But all right, that's it. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. I'm not sure what the next video is, but